I haven't done a pattern destash or pattern collection video for about 6 months, and the last one I did was my activewear section. I have gone through and listed all of the different categories I have my patterns under, and I've done about half of those categories as videos for you guys, showing you what patterns I have, which ones I'm keeping and which ones I'm destashing. So I want to work my way through the rest of my collection so that I can put all of my destash patterns up for sale on my website soon. Today I'm going to do 2 sections. One is going to be the evening gown section and one is going to be the fitted dress section. Both of these are quite small because the evening gowns, I don't need very many of those. I no longer attend loads of black tie evening gown appropriate events, maybe 1 or 2 a year instead of the sort of 20-30 that I used to do when I was working as a hostess in London. And the fitted dress section of my pattern stash is also very slim because I don't overly like the slim silhouette on myself. I find it more restrictive than I'm willing to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So without any further waffle, let's have a look at the patterns in my stash, ones that I think I'll keep, ones that I want to destash, and ones that are going to stick around because they're either beautiful or have sentimental value. I'm gonna start with the evening gowns. First up, I have some Vogue ones, and these are Belleville Sassoon Vogue Designer Originals. I got these probably about 20 years ago now, in the early 2000s, and they are in fairly small size range, yeah, 6 to 10. This probably will not fit me. It is the Vogue 2802. I think this is absolutely beautiful. I think it would be an absolute nightmare to make because it wants to be made from chiffon or georgette, neither of which are fun to work with. I would probably actually go for the shorter version of this dress because I can't see myself wearing the longer version given some of the other evening gowns that I have in my stash, but I can see myself wearing the shorter version of this as kind of a glam going out dress. I went out for a very fancy dinner recently with a friend and a dress like this would have been perfect. Also, this is an off the shoulder dress, which I am not a huge fan of, but I would like to try and work on my corset again so that I can have some bust support for strapless dresses. I'm not necessarily going for waist reduction, which I definitely got fixated on last time I tried corset making, but I definitely want support and structure for this kind of a dress. So keeping this one, even though the size 10 definitely won't fit me, although they do have a lot of built-in ease into these patterns, so maybe it will. I usually make a 12 to a 14, so we shall see, but I love this one and it's gorgeous. As is this next one, another Belleville Sassoon. It is 2801, clearly bought from the same pattern run. I remember discovering the Vogue website, they had one of their $2 sales on. I bought all of the patterns and then ended up getting charged nearly $150 for shipping because they don't do the free shipping offer that they do now. So it was an expensive pattern haul, but oh my gosh, it was so much fun when it arrived. This is another off the shoulder number. This one has built-in structure in it already. It is designed for silk-like file or crepe back satin, and it definitely needs boning. Yes. Close fitting dress, floor length, has front and back sleeve drapes, a foundation with boning, shaped back hemline. I again think this is absolutely beautiful and I can see myself wearing this one, although I think I probably would include a thigh-high split like the previous pattern had, just because again that's kind of my preference, and one of the beautiful things about sewing is that you can make things to your preferences. Again, it's going to need some kind of a support because I do not like wearing strapless dresses without a bra of some description or corset of some description. This one does have stuff built into it, as I said, but I still think I'd want to have the corset and then have the boning in the dress to keep the bodice of the dress nice and smooth. Yeah, it could end up feeling like armor wearing this one out if I do go down the route that I think I am. Again, it's the size bundle 6, 8 and 10, so it probably will be on the slightly too small side for me at the moment, but again, I haven't really, I think this is still factory folded. It's quite a chunky pattern, as was the last one. I haven't seen how much ease that they have built into these. I don't know if these even have have the finished garment measurements printed on the tissue paper, because some of the other ones that I got from this same order don't have the finished garment measurements on the tissue. So it's going to be another one, interesting one to figure out and work out if I can get this one to fit me. But it is a very pretty dress, and again, I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I can see myself wearing it to the right event, and I can see myself enjoying the actual construction of this one as well. Next we have another Vogue 2237, a Badgley Mishka pattern. This one is in sizes 8, 10 and 12, so it's slightly closer to fitting me. Yet another strapless gown. When I bought these, I would wear a lot of strapless dresses, and I had a strapless bra that fit me well and gave me the support that I liked. So strapless dresses weren't something that I never wore, but I was a lot tinier than I am now. My bust is a good 4 or 5 inches bigger than it used to be. Yeah, I definitely want and need the support. This one also has boning built in. I think it's another thing that's to keep the lines of the dress smooth rather than actually give support and structure to the wearer. So I think it would be another one where I would want to have the corset underneath and then make the dress on top. It is a very, very simple column dress, and it is beautiful, and I love the little bolero over the top that I could see myself making just by itself. And I actually have quite a lot of bolero patterns, which I have already done a destash video for. This one I'm keeping. Again, I don't think I've actually ever unfolded the tissue paper. I've read the instructions. I enjoy reading pattern instructions. It's one of my favorite pastimes. This one, again, I can see myself making, and possibly, although it's kind of interesting pattern pieces, because it has what look like fisheye darts. I would have thought this would be princess themed. Lots of... oh no, it's not princess themed. So it has kind of interesting shaping in this one, but it does mean that I wouldn't be able to put a thigh-high split in because there is no princess seam running the length of the bodice. I could add that very easily with some pattern manipulation. This one is also a really great candidate for showing off an absolutely gorgeous fabric. So yeah, I'm keeping this one as well. I don't think I'm actually going to be destashing anything from either of these collections, even though they are things that I won't be making regularly or necessarily ever, but they're such beautiful patterns, and they kind of remind me of a time in my life when I really got into sewing for the first time round. Yeah, I still fondly remember that Vogue order. The last one I have in this section is the So La Di Da Destiny pattern from their Heritage range. It's another off the shoulder pattern, and I think that a lot of evening gowns, and this one is kind of like made up as a wedding gown, which is absolutely beautiful with all of the lace overlays on the pattern picture. I think a lot of evening gowns are kind of like off the shoulder. I do like that, and I think that's one of the reasons that a lot of these dresses have so much boning and construction built into them. I think they would be interesting challenges. I do really like this one. This one, I do feel like I would be restricted in it. This was an option for a wedding dress that I was going to make for a customer. She loved the shape of everything except the sleeves. She wanted to have proper shoulder straps so that she could move, because it was going to be her evening party dress, and I ended up using the Vogue 8997, and she looked fabulous in that dress. But this was the shape that she was after, just not the kind of like neckline. So I do think it's beautiful. I think it might annoy me. I do hate feeling restricted in my arm movement, but again, it's one of those ones that's absolutely beautiful, and I am not going to get rid of. It's going to stay in the stash. And that is it for evening gowns. Believe it or not, I have had a destash of my patterns a couple of times now, and there were a lot more in this section, but I have a lot of other dresses. The vintage dress section and then the just dress section are going to be huge and very long videos that will be coming soon-ish, and there are loads in there that, if made in the right fabrics and with like certain tweaks like elongating the skirt, could easily be evening gowns. But these four to me are proper evening gowns that I wouldn't make for anything else. And then we move on to my fitted dresses section. Again, I don't have very many of these because I don't like the restrictive feeling of fitted skirts on me. I much prefer my half circle fuller skirts. I think the 5951 is the slimmest skirt silhouette that I like because it gives me range of motion and freedom of movement. I love these kinds of looks, and I have made one, and that pencil skirted dress is gorgeous, and I do still have it in my wardrobe. I've never worn it out though because it feels very dressy for one, and it also is a little bit restrictive. So I do have a selection of fitted dresses, but it's not very large. First up, we've got Butterick 6413. There are a couple of things about this that I love but would prohibit me from making this. One is the skirt, and that's very easily changed, and then the kind of like little cutout under the bust. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think it's so cute. I would not wear it because I don't like not wearing a bra. So yeah, no, I don't think I will ever make this one. Also, it's very wide on the shoulders, so that's another thing that prohibits me wearing a bra, which I think is going to mean that this pattern needs to be destashed, as beautiful as it is. And I love the Gertie for Butterick patterns. I have a lot of them and I've made a lot of them and I love them, but this one is just not right for me. And as much as I love it, I'm never going to make it, so somebody else should be able to get their hands on it and make this up and love this. So this one's being destashed. Then we have McCall's 8091, which is the Naomi dress. I think this is absolutely gorgeous, and I love the bodice on this so much. I don't think I'm ever gonna make the skirt portion of this as is, but I could very easily add on a fuller skirt, one like the Vogue 9345 or the 5951, with just adding like a button placket down the front. There are loads of different tweaks that I could make to this bodice to make it work for me. I'm keeping it in the fitted dress section because that's what it is, and when I think of this pattern I would think it's in the fitted dress section. So whilst I'll never make it up like that, I love the bodice and I really want to give the bodice a try with a different skirt, so that one's staying. Then we have McCall's 8034, which is the Cora. Again, I don't know why I bought this one. Yes, I do. It's the sleeves. I absolutely love the sleeves on B. I am never gonna make this dress up, and I have other patterns that have very similar sleeves to this one. So as gorgeous as this is, and it is absolutely gorgeous, it's just not right for me, and I am going to pick one of my other patterns over this every single time, and just keeping it because of the sleeves is daft, because I have other patterns with these types of sleeves on that I will choose to make over this one. So this one's getting destashed. Then we've got the Vogue 8948, which I have included in the fitted dress category, even though it does have a super floofy skirt on views F and D. This is absolutely beautiful, and I want to make this. I think is absolutely gorgeous, and I think I might enjoy wearing this one because whilst it is very fitted over the waist, hips and upper thighs, before you get to the knees it's obviously very full and floofy in views F and D, which are the ones that I would want to make. I do like the little cap sleeves on it that they've got on views B and E, because you can have it sleeveless like A and D. You can have little short sleeves on B and E, and then on C and F it's another one of those kind of sort of grown on shoulder doodad things, which I do think are beautiful, but I think would probably actually end up annoying me, so I don't think I would go for that kind of grown on sleeve look like on C, as you can see on the pattern envelope. I think it would probably end up being D, and I can imagine myself making this as a dress to go dancing in, depending on just how floofy the skirt is. I think it's beautiful. If I made it in a cotton sateen, which I do have a beautiful navy one with red roses on it, which has got a lovely amount of stretch in it, so if I made it in a cotton sateen that breathed and moved, I think this could be an excellent candidate for a salsa dancing dress for me. So I kind of want to give this one a try sooner rather than later, and as a try as it actually is in View D. What do you guys think? Two left. The next one is the By Hand London Georgia dress, which is absolutely gorgeous. I bought this when By Hand London released it. It's their original packaging, and I think that the dress itself is really pretty and looks great on the models. I don't think it would look great on me. I think it was one of those ones where I was buying every pattern that they released because my little inner hoarder collector brain was just like, must have all the pretties. And so I've got a lot of By Hand London patterns, their earlier ones, that I love on other people and that I just would never wear myself. Having said all that, I don't know that I can bring myself to part with this because of the aforementioned collector nature of my brain. So this one is going to survive in the stash for now, but it's definitely one that will probably end up being curled in the future because I cannot see myself making this ever without adding a waist seam and a very different skirt, and I have already patterns in my stash that give me that bodice without having to do all the work, but I can't get rid of it. And then the final one I have is actually a gift from the very lovely Laurie. It is Vogue 1888 and it is a jacket and dress pattern. The dress is spectacular. The back of that dress, oh my gosh, she looks amazing in this. It's a Montana? Is that right? Did I get that right? Montana. Yeah, Montana. Vogue Paris original. I have no idea when this is from. Maybe the 90s? Maybe the 80s? Where would I find that? 1996. I love it. I will never wear this because a fitted bottom and backless. So I don't know what kind of like engineering I would have to find to get everything where I wanted it to and to stay like that. And then again, fitted short skirt. However, the jacket is amazing. It is very similar to other jackets that I have, but I do think it has vented sleeves. So I'm keeping this one because it was a lovely gift from Laurie, as I mentioned, and also that jacket is just gorgeous. And I can see me making that jacket in kind of like a tuxedo-ish fabric, so kind of wool for the main body of it and then some kind of satin for the lapels, and then possibly the Victory Patterns, no it's not, the Decades of Style Empire waist trousers with a corresponding satin panel down the sides to make them look like tuxedo trousers. I love the idea of that. And I really do love those trousers. I want to try those again. Despite how much I failed with them last time I tried them, I want to try them again. So I'm keeping this one. Thank you, Laurie, for the very lovely gift. And should this go and live in my bolero jacket collection rather than the fitted dress collection, because as beautiful as the dress is, I'm never going to make it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. That is it for these parts of my pattern collection, both of which were very small, and I have only destashed 2, but given how small they were, I don't think that's too bad. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about keeping selections of patterns like both of these in categories that you either won't make up very often or that you know don't work for you because of your preferences in your style or your kind of like comfort levels. These fitted dress ones, there's only 4 of them. They're not taking up that much room. I have space for them and they are beautiful things, and yeah, I'm gonna keep them. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you've enjoyed this video, you might want to check out this one here.